story of an elderly veteran who found himself homeless resonated with so many of you.
Norman Poppy received so much help from you after our first story aired on Monday, and that tremendous support for the 84-year-old left us asking what's being done to help other people who are homeless around here. Local 4 News went to one agency to see what it's doing about it. Local 4's Leah Sims joins us live in the newsroom with that. Leah?
Jim, and Norman Poppy's story was one sad story that turned into hope, but there are so many others in the Quad Cities area who are experiencing homelessness. Today I went to Bethany for Children and Families to see how they are fighting that issue.
It's tough to watch.
Ben Cleveland is the Associate Director of Community Services for Bethany for Children and Families. That was his reaction after watching the story about Norman Poppy's homeless situation.
I just couldn't pay last month's rent, so they said they'd have to get rid of me.
The heartbreaking story about the 84-year-old homeless veteran turned into hope after he received help from a generous viewer.
I had no idea that I'd be this would be a development like this. I sure appreciate it.
Poppy's story had many wondering how to get help in a situation like his.
One of the things that we try and strive to do in the Quad Cities here is, house as many people as possible.
Cleveland says there are shelters that have beds available, but not everyone wants to go to one.
Sometimes, you have to kind of counsel them, so to speak, to avail themselves of the opportunity to get housed. So sometimes, the mental illness is a big issue, substance abuse is an issue, and sometimes, people just say, no, I'd rather, stay outside.
Cleveland says there is a problem of homelessness in the Quad Cities area. And he says affordable housing opportunities play a big role in that.
The Scott County Housing Cluster is coming out with a short-term vision and also a long-term vision. And the long-term is really trying to address that affordable housing in the Quad Cities, the lack of.
And although shelters are a temporary fix for the issue, Cleveland says the goal is to close the overflow shelter by doing more outreach throughout the whole year, including helping with security deposits or first month rent. Coming up on Local 4 News at 6, we'll hear about another way Bethany's for Children and Families is working to help get the homeless out of the cold. Live in the newsroom, Aaliyah Sims, Local 4 News.
Aaliyah, thank you.